Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our English class for today. Welcome, grade 7, to our class for today. Okay, so today we will be talking about direct and indirect speech. Of course, you've already known about this one because I have given you a preview of our lesson last Thursday. So I hope you have watched that video, and if you haven't, please check it out in M-Courser. Okay, so check it out there, and it will tell you what the lesson will be about. Okay, but don't worry, this also will be our main lesson. Okay, so today we will be talking about direct and indirect speech. Okay, so before we go through our lesson, let's go first to our lesson outline. What are we going to learn? Okay, so first of all, we're going to learn about direct and indirect speech, followed by the conversion. How can we convert from direct speech to indirect speech? Okay, so let's go first with direct speech. Sir Kevin, unsa dining direct speech? Okay, now the direct speech is always contained within quotation marks, indicating words that are spoken aloud by someone. So that means it is a direct quotation. It's a direct kung unsay gisulti sa speaker, mao gid ang gisulti ug mao pud ang gibutang sa speech. Okay, so you can most probably see this one in newspapers, kanang mga reporting, or you can see this in kanang stories, short stories, and novels that you are reading right now. Okay? So kanang mga quotation marks, that's already a direct speech. Okay? Now, what are the characteristics of direct speech? Oh, this does not reflect all direct speech, but it reflects most of direct speech. So unsa day ni sila? Number one, it is usually written in the present tense. The speech is usually written in the present tense because it is spoken. And also, it is accompanied by a simple clause. Or another word for simple clause is our speech tag in the past tense. Okay? So naka-past tense ang ato ang speech tag. Sir Kevin, wala ko kasabot sa imong gisulti. Don't worry, we will have an example sentence. Okay? So here's our example sentence. Now, here, we have the sentence, what are your symptoms? The doctor asked. Okay, so ang kanang naa sa quotation marks, that's our direct speech. And this direct speech gives the exact words of the doctor, so it is contained within the quotation marks. Okay? And after the quotation marks, if it's a declarative sentence or it's an imperative sentence, we usually put the comma. But if the statement is a question, or if the statement is an exclamation, exclamatory, then we put the appropriate punctuation marks. So if it's a question, then question mark, and if it's an exclamatory sentence, we put the exclamatory point. Okay? So dapat naa siya, and then dapat sulod siya sa quotation marks. Wala dili siya gawas, but naa siya sa sulod. Okay? Remember that one? And then atong speech tag or kaning simple clause is the doctor asked. Okay? So remember those the basic parts of a direct speech. So we have the direct speech, and we have the punctuation mark, and then we have the simple clause. The simple clause will tell you kinsay nagsulti sa speech. So who is speaking in the speech there? Kanang what are your symptoms? Who is speaking? The one who is speaking is the good. The one who is speaking is the doctor. What did the doctor ask? Good. What are your symptoms? Ana ra siya kadali. Now let's go to another example. Okay, maybe some of you are asking for examples. Okay, so we have here another example. Carmen said, "Travel is the great Filipino dream." Okay, so who is speaking? Who is speaking? It is who? Carmen. Very good. Now Carmen said, that part is our what? That part is our speech tag or our simple clause. And then we go to naikama, di ba? Kung Carmen said, after butangan na to og kama, if maguna ang simple clause. Okay? Remember that one? If maguna gani atong simple clause or atong speech tag, butangan na to og kama, and then followed by the quotation, the direct quotation. Okay? So our direct quotation is, travel is the great Filipino dream. So what did Carmen say? Or what did Carmen say? Travel is the great Filipino dream. Okay? So mao na ato ang direct speech. Now let's go to indirect speech. Unsa din ning indirect speech? An indirect speech is an account or report. In other words, it's a reported speech. Okay? of what someone has said. Okay, and other words ani for indirect speech is also reported speech. Okay, now what are the characteristics of indirect speech? Nanadira, but we're going to explain it further. So, number one, it does not require quotation marks. So, dili na ta magginahanglan og quotation marks because, of course, we are not anymore quoting the person. We're just reporting what he said. And also, it is usually in the past tense because it is describing what someone has said. Okay? So, usually, naagin siya sa past tense. But not all the time. Okay? Not all the time. Let's see our example sa indirect speech. How does an indirect speech look like? Okay? So we have here our example. The doctor asked, what were my symptoms? So we have our speech tag there, or kanatong simple clause. So the doctor asked. So ang kanato ang speech tag there, it will not change. Okay? So the doctor asked. That's already there. Okay? Now, ang direct speech na usab. Diba? Tanawan yung direct speech. Unsa to atong first, diba? Ato ra man gikuha sa katong direct speech. Unsa to yung direct speech ani? What are my symptoms? Oh, what are your symptoms, diba? But here, sa atong example, nausab siya. Nganong nausab? Nganong nausab? What were my symptoms? Anong nausab siya? O, tanawa ha, what are your symptoms? That's the direct speech. But the indirect speech, nahimo siyang, what were my symptoms? Nganong nausab? Don't worry, if you're going to tune into our next video, I will be posting also another video in M-Courser. We will be talking about the next part of our lesson, which will be the converting of the active voice to passive voice. Okay? Active voice to passive voice. Direct speech to indirect speech. Okay? And here we have another example kato atong previous nga example sa direct speech ato siyang gi-convert into indirect speech. So it will look like this. Carmen said that travel was the great Filipino dream. So ana na siya, di ba? Ang gisulti ni Carmen sa direct speech kay travel is the great Filipino dream. Nganong nahimo siyang was? How? Giunsa na to siya? Giunsa na, sir? We will talk about that one in our next video, so make sure you tune in. Thank you everyone for listening. See you on the next video.